Yo, what's going on, Brick Squad? It is your boy Matty F here, back again with another video. And today, guys, oh my gosh, we have the Building Kessel and Lego finale. I apologize for getting this video out late. I'm trying to film this as fast as possible because I do have some stuff to do. But I also wanted to make sure I got it out on Saturday and came through for the Brick Squad. So first of all, thank you all so much for your patience. And before we go ahead and get started, guys, can we break 100 likes on this video? So basically, guys, today there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and it's probably going to be more towards the longer side of videos. So obviously, I hope you guys understand. But Kessel's done. Kessel's 100% done. 22 weeks, almost 6 months of building has led to what I have to show you all today. I do want to really quickly give a huge shout out to a couple of people who have really sponsored almost literally the build. So first off, Brick Stuff. You guys know Rob from Brick Stuff sponsored the build. He got all the lights in that Falcon for me, and it came out so good. So guys, definitely go ahead and check out Brick Stuff. Number two, I do want to give a huge shout out to Blaine's World Lego on Bricklink. I can't tell you the amount of money I saved going to him and getting some parts and orders from this stuff. So go ahead and check him out on Bricklink. Again, it's Blaine's World. Number three, I do want to give a huge thank you to Jack Productions, or Justin, for lending me his custom 100% one-of-one customs of the Kessel minifigures, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Kira, and Lando. So they all look fantastic. You guys will see that in just a little bit. And last but not least, I do want to give a huge thank you to my Uncle Pat, who stayed up till 1 a.m. last night, basically hammering out a lot of Kessel for me. Huge thank you to him. And so what does Building Kessel and Lego, the finale, have in store for all of you guys? Like I said, everything is done. We're going to spend a lot of time today talking about some new additions to the back. I have a good feeling that half of the video is going to be me just talking a lot about Kessel and how much I love it and how much I think it really came together. Seeing it as a final product is nothing like there's no experience like it, right? You can imagine how stuff plays out in your head, but as soon as you get all the minifigures down, as soon as you get all those details down, it looks fantastic. So without any further delay, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. One more thing before we go ahead and get started. In the outro of today's video, I will be explaining to you guys my future plans, both for mocks and how I'm going to handle more Kessel segments and videos. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into today's segment. Alright guys, so first things first, I do want to briefly discuss the minifigures. This is actually something I really haven't talked about for the build series itself. For a while, I kind of just thought I would be using the figures from the actual Kessel Falcon set. But basically, these are all completely 100% custom figures, except for the Tobias Baggett on the right side. I was actually able to land my hands on these custom figures by another fellow Lego YouTuber or Lego community person by the name of Jack Productions, or Justin. His link will be down in the description. He makes custom figures, and he did make some awesome Kessel customs for his own Kessel mock, which he did, and then basically he was gracious enough to lend them to me for my Kessel finale. So I'm super happy to have all these figures here. Now the 4 figures that he did create are going to be the Lando, the Kira, the Han Solo, and the Chewbacca. And to give us a little bit of a closer look at all the minifigures, you guys can see that. Now, all of the figures here throughout these 5 or 6 main core minifigures or characters in Kessel are actually going to have weapons from Brick Arms. The only non-Brick Arms weapons are going to be in the hands of Kira and Tobias Baggett. But for example, we do have Chewie's bowcaster in Chewie's hand. We do have Han Solo's pistol and Lando's pistol as well in silver, which looks really awesome. Quickly talking about the L3, this is not my design. I found it on Flickr, and not only did it catch my eye, but it also looked the best in my opinion. So that link to Flickr will be down below in the description. I think it's a total of maybe like 2 dozen or maybe like a little bit over a dozen parts. So a very simple build, and most importantly, it is a droid, so it does tower over Lando and Kira, which I do like, and just over the general minifigures, which is awesome. And then of course we have Chewie, who is slightly bigger than Han Solo, which is again movie accurate. So here, guys, are the 6 core main figures of the Kessel series, of that Kessel run in Solo: A Star Wars Story. I hope you guys do like these figures. Once again, guys, go check out Jack for providing the main core 4 minifigures here, which look fantastic. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next part of today's video. Alrighty guys, here we have it, the completed Lego Star Wars Kessel run mock. A lot of stuff to talk about today, guys. First and foremost, actually, though, this image is not necessarily new to any of you guys who have been following. However, you should notice a lot of cool details. Obviously, the entire thing is done. But so first off, let's start with the main centerpiece of the mock, and that is the Falcon. So you guys know the Falcon cockpit piece was something that was a huge challenge to me. I didn't like the brick built, nor did I want to paint or deface the old parts. So basically, I did put a video out of this already, so this is already public knowledge, but one of my friends recommended me to one of his friends who does custom decals and stickers. His name is OK Brickworks on Facebook. Go check him out. He was basically able to exactly copy the design for the decals and the layout of the cockpit and essentially make them in white. So I was able to get that cockpit from him, and now the Falcon is 100% done, all in its full beauty. And gosh dang it, does this thing look incredibly amazing. First off, a little brief tour of the Falcon. So you guys can see here, it is armed with some fantastic brick stuff lights, including lights in the underbelly that you can see reflecting from the ground up. We do have some lights in the cockpit, most notably the ones on the actual control panels themselves, which look super cool. I will be putting in figures for the cinematic video when it comes out. And then my favorite part of this entire mock has got to be the pulsing engines, guys. Fantastic brick stuff lights here. And for those of you wondering how this is all powered up, behind here is basically a wire and a battery pack. So very, very simple, easy to use products by Rob from Brick Stuff. Definitely go ahead and check him out. Huge thank you to him for being not only my first sponsor for Kessel, but my actual first sponsor for any mock that I've ever created. So thank you, Rob, for all your incredible help and support. This mock would definitely not be anywhere what it is now without that incredible support. So huge thank you to him. Now moving on to the rest of the mock. Now the battle depicted here is going to be when everyone is leaving. So basically we have a whole bunch of the Kessel workers and troopers running all from corners of the map. You guys can see here that we have Kessel troopers from here, from there. We have some coming in from the corner over there on the path. We have some coming in from this area. Basically, this is the extraction scene. Now this right here is probably one of the most notable scenes in the movie that you probably remember. Here we have Lando armed with his awesome silver gun. Here we have Han Solo, and then Tobias Beckett dual wielding some awesome blasters, fending off the rest of the Kessel troopers, running out trying to stop them. And then we have a few freed slaves, or recently freed slaves, running throughout the entire mock, trying to get away from the danger as fast as possible. We have a large group of slaves running that way, and a couple of Kessel troopers who are kind of trying to stop them. Here we pretty much have the core 5 or 6 main characters, L3, Lando, Kira, Chewie, Han, and Tobias Beckett, fending off the overwhelming attack from the Kessel troopers, trying to stop them. And again, you guys can see here the troopers are coming from all corners of the mock, trying to stop them, obviously, and prevent them from loading up the coaxium onto the Falcon. But finally, guys, everything is done. All the details, all the fine-tuning is done, and I think getting a nice overhead look of the entire mock itself looks fantastic. The outside area of the mock, this specific area right here, is definitely my favorite, because not only is there so much going on in terms of action with the minifigures, but the acid pools, man, they look fantastic. The acid pools were a really big, crucial part of the mock. Obviously, you guys know that Kessel is known for a couple of things, most notably its acid pools. And the way I basically made these was putting some lime green plates underneath some 1x2 teal transparent tile, and then adding some nice details, including some radio towers, some fuel cells, and most notably some pipes, which lead to and from certain areas of the Kessel pool. And that's pretty much a carbon copy of every other pool on this mock. So I did my best to try and do experiments and get some variety with the Kessel pools, but I think they came out super, super nice, which I'm really happy with. And overall, the whole color tone, the kind of like the contrast between all the colors on the exterior side of the Kessel mock is definitely worth noting. I think it just looks super fantastic. It just looks like so much is going on, which is great, obviously, for a mock. So this thing came out fantastic. The Falcon is definitely the main centerpiece for this mock. But I do also want to spend a considerable amount of time in today's video going over the back section and some nice changes that we did get implemented then. So let's go ahead and jump right to that segment right now. Next, let's go ahead and move on to the actual back section of the entire mock. Now, the most notable thing that you guys should notice is that down here, this is something completely new, which I will get into a second. However, you should also notice that there are actually minifigures now. Now, here we do have that long tunnel of the mines, and you can see we finally have all the slaves and the Kessel troopers. Now, this is the Kessel Trooper that I've come up with, if you guys remember from the movie. They basically have a really cool, unique helmet that unfortunately isn't made by LEGO, so I do want to give a quick shout out to KevFet on Instagram for initially giving me this idea and design for that helmet, so huge thank you to him. His link will be in the description. But basically, I made a whole bunch of these guys, as you can see there. I have a couple down or over there in the corridor. We have one standing guard right there, and another one over here. So those are kind of like the hired help. Those are kind of like the mercenaries that were on Kessel. And then you can obviously see the actual Kessel troopers themselves who are enforcing all of these slaves to do their work. More about the general slave figures. They're actually resistance figures. I think they actually best captured the slave aspect and were really, really affordable and nothing too crazy to actually attain since I already had them. So I decided to go ahead and use those in terms of accessories. Here, kind of emulating all of the material that they are mining, giving it to the Kessel leader, I guess you could say. And then we have some more guys coming to work. And obviously, you guys know the lights already. We have a couple of the lantern lights going on throughout the mock, sponsored by Brick Stuff. And then on the top here, we have some flickering lights aiming down below at the hallway right here to give that some illumination. But this is generally that back section that I told you guys about, and I think it looks really awesome, especially considering all the minifigures. Again, try to ignore all the colorful stuff. That'll all be blocked for the cinematic. But I think this section came out really nice. It's nice to actually capture the way that this looked, which is super cool. But now moving to the left here, we have the control center. Here is that legendary control center, or the iconic control center from the film. Couple of new additions. Obviously, the archways are slightly different. Up top, we have a couple of cameras and some pipes leading up and down. And then here we obviously have all the droids and all the, I guess, the characters that were in that room itself. Now, moving on to my favorite part of this back section here, we have basically two different areas. So I couldn't include the vault room at the point of my parts and just the time and money that I had. It wouldn't make sense to invest in a vault room. So basically what I kind of came up with, or what I guess Pat came up with, was this little idea of a ventilation system, because obviously Kessel is a mine, it's inside mountains, so it gets very hot. So basically, we kind of went throughout this design of having these be some sort of fans to keep the mines temporarily cool. You know, obviously the conditions aren't great for the Kessel slaves themselves. But he came up with this awesome design using pieces like cylinders and other great parts to actually create this sort of fan aspect. So that area came out really nice. We have a couple of guards here, obviously patrolling the area. And left here, we have the prison. Now, unfortunately, the Prison Mike minifigure got delayed in shipping. So you guys will see that in the cinematic. However, it is not done for today's finale. I apologize. It just got delayed in shipping, so I couldn't really help it. But here we have the prison areas. We have two prison cells up top and then one here. And then we have the legendary Dementors. For those of you who have been watching the channel for a long time, you know I'm a big Office fan. And basically we have one Dementor up the top and one coming out of the door. And obviously we will have Prison Mike's minifigure running basically around those tile area. That was a really cool, unique area of the mock, something I definitely wanted to include. And then here on the top, we just have a cool little makeshift gun. I figured we had some extra pieces, and Pat kind of put that together last minute. But overall, this whole section right here really brings together the entirety of the back section, because now there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more to actually pay attention to. Great designs and great details here. So that has been a little bit of a tour throughout the back section. I think it came out really nice, especially with all the lights and the figures, but let's go ahead and move on. Alright guys, and before we go ahead and jump to the outro of today's video, I do want to give you all one more overhead shot of the mock. And guys, this came together awesome. This is something that I will definitely be staring at for a long time, and I think it came out much better than I ever could have thought. And I do want to take this time to thank all of you, which of course I will do later in the video in the outro. But I do think it's fair to give you guys a really good shot as to just how large this creation is and how the Falcon really brings everything together. I think this mock without the Falcon is very boring, very bland. So definitely the most important and crucial and most impressive part of this mock, in my opinion, has got to be the Falcon. So let me know what you guys think. Definitely go ahead and smash that like button down below if y'all are digging this Kessel mock. This thing came out super awesome, and well, I'm just dumbfounded. This is something that I will forever be staring at whenever I'm playing my video games over there or streaming, and I will always turn around to look at this. It's gonna be beautiful to wake up in the morning and look at this by my bed. So guys, 22 weeks of work, almost 6 months time, has accumulated to all the progress that we got done and showed you guys today. With that all being said, let's go ahead and jump to the outro of today's video. Alrighty guys, there we have it. Building Kessel and Lego is done. Woo! Damn, it feels so good. You know, a lot of you know that I struggled at times with the mock in terms of motivation, but seeing it now, all that work paid off, man. The 40 hours into the Falcon, the 100+ hours total on the mock definitely paid off, and I think it came out awesome. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. So let's talk about a few logistical items first, guys. I'm going to get to a lot of your questions right now. So number one, you guys know that I love to do a cinematic trailer and cinematic short movie for my mocks. That will all be coming. I hope to get the cinematic trailer out by either Friday or Saturday this week, and then the following day will be the cinematic movie. I hope for that to be within the next 1 or 2 weeks. And of course, the biggest question I'm sure a lot of you have is, what is the next project, you know? Obviously, a channel like mine thrives on the build series, so I can't really take too long of a break, but I do want to let you guys know what my thought process is. Basically, my thought process is I'm going to take about a month off from building mocks, big mocks, because I have to really renovate my room. I have to make sure that I know what parts I have. I have to make sure I have all the parts that I need, or I have to basically just take inventory, because my room is not the best for LEGO Studio. So I'm going to take the next couple of weeks, really go hard through my collection, getting to know what I have, and from there, I'm going to be able to make an educated guess as to, or not an educated guess, but an educated decision as to what I will be doing next. Now, the next box should be starting up within April or May, most likely April. I probably will announce it the first week of April, and then proceed working on it within a couple of weeks after that. So that's kind of what I plan for the next projects. It won't be too long. Like I said, it's going to be a month break, but it's not even going to be a break for me because I'm going to be hammering out through my collection, making sure I sort everything in the most efficient way I can with the amount of room that I'm given. Now, the biggest question I know a lot of you have been asking me, I've gotten DMs, emails, comments, what's the next mock, Matt? What are you going to be working on next? Well, you guys know I like to be a showman, I like to be an entertainer, so obviously I'm not going to tell you guys now, but for those of you who didn't make it to the end of the video right now, I will give you a really good hint. I know I am being very vague with this, but basically the next planet or setting or scene that I'm building is something that we will be learning much more of in the coming months or years, whether that be comics, TV shows, movies, anything you name it, any sort of content. I won't tell you exactly what it is because I would give it away, but it is going to be coming up from the content that we are getting from new Star Wars stuff coming very soon. So there you have it. Go ahead and type your hypotheses and everything you think that I will be doing. I'm actually really interested to see what you guys think and what you guys want, so again, comment that down below. And before we go ahead and close out the Building Kessel and Lego series, before we close out the building segment, I do want to sincerely, for real, this is a real note here, thank you to everybody, seriously. You guys watching my videos, you guys smashing like buttons and giving me comments and joining me for my live streams and donating is a feeling that I will never be able to express. I'm actually even getting a little emotional right now. But seriously, like, I never thought at one point I would be at a position where I can do something that I love as YouTube and filming and videography and making Lego, and not only having an audience that knows me and appreciates me and drives to conventions to see my creations, but also donates to me. Like, that's something that I'll never be able to put into words. So for everyone who has supported, whether it be through viewership, subscribers, liking, or donating, or live streaming views, thank you seriously so much. This project would not have been anywhere near where it is now without the support of all you guys, my subs, and my viewers, and everyone like that. So I really do, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everything that you guys do. And that has been my Matty F real note for the video. But guys, it is done. Stay tuned for the next week or two for the cinematic movie and trailer coming out. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in on the Building Kessel and Lego series. Until next time with the building segments, it's been your boy Matty F, and I will see you later. Peace.